Я пью чай с сахаром. Я гуляю с собакой. Я пишу ручкой. Привет, друзья! Welcome to Russian Readers, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the instrumental case. And as I always tell you, whenever we learn a new case, we need to look at its meaning and at its form. So let's do that. So, as it's easy to guess from its name, the instrumental case is used with nouns that are used as an instrument or a tool in a sentence. For example, if you say, I cut bread with a knife, right? So the knife in this case is a tool. So in Russian, you would have to put it in the instrumental case. Another example is, I write with a pen, right? So the word pen is used as a tool or as an instrument. So again, in Russian, you would have to put it in the instrumental case. And well, you noticed that when we use something as a tool, even in English, right, we use the preposition with, right? And the truth is that the instrumental case in Russian kind of went beyond its original use, which is using something as a tool. And by association, in Russian, we simply use the instrumental case pretty much any time we use the preposition with, even if we're not using something as a tool. For example, if you say, I drink tea with sugar, right? In this sentence, you're not using sugar as an instrument or a tool, but you're still using the preposition with. And again, by association, anytime you see the preposition with in Russian, which by the way in Russian is s, right? Just one letter, s. Sometimes it can be so, right? You pretty much always use the instrumental case. You put the noun following that preposition in the instrumental case. For example, in the sentence, I drink tea with sugar, the noun sugar would be in the instrumental case simply because it's used with the preposition with, which in Russian again is s. Again, even though technically sugar is not a tool in the sentence. Other common examples would be I drink coffee with milk, right? So milk would be an instrumental case. I eat chicken with rice, right? Rice would be an instrumental case. I walk with the dog, so the dog would be an instrumental case. Or I speak with a friend, or with, anyone, even with proper names, right? With John, with Michael, with Jessica, right? Even proper names you would have to put in the instrumental case if they follow the preposition with. And technically, instrumental has a couple of other uses, but in this video we're only going to be talking about these two major uses. So using a noun as a tool or an instrument, or simply using a noun with the preposition with, which again is s in Russian. And trust me guys, those uses cover pretty much probably 95% of all the uses of the instrumental case in Russian. So now let's look at the form. And again, in this video, we're only looking at singular nouns. So no adjectives, no plurals, no pronouns, just singular nouns in the instrumental case. And the endings are fairly easy. So what you do is you add to both masculine and neuter nouns. And when it comes to cases, most of the time, masculine and neuter genders share an ending. So this is the case with instrumental, right? So both masculine and neuter nouns take in the instrumental case. For example, сахар, right? Sugar in the nominative would become сахаром in the instrumental. So you would say with sugar, you would say с сахаром, right? Друг, friend, would become другом, or with a friend, с другом. Proper name, for example, Ivan, right? In the instrumental would become Иваном, or with Ivan would be с Иваном. And нож, for example, if we're using something as a tool, a knife, right? Нож would become ножом in the instrumental. And a couple of neuter examples, and again, neuter nouns take the exact same ending as masculine. So for example, молоко would become молоком, or with milk would be с молоком, or масло, right, butter or oil would become маслом, or literally with butter would become с маслом. So what about feminine nouns? Feminine nouns take the ending ой. For example, собака becomes собакой in the instrumental case. So with the dog would be с собакой, right? Девушка, девушкой. With the girl, с девушкой, right? Proper name, for example, Marina would become Мариной, or with Marina would become с Мариной. Картошка, right? Potato would become картошкой or с картошкой. Ручка, a pen. If you write with a pen, you would say ручкой, right? Or ложка, a spoon, would become ложкой if you're saying with a spoon. I will also mention that you might see a couple of other endings for singular nouns and instrumental. For example, if your noun ends in one of those weird hissing consonants, you know, like zh, sh, ch, sh, right? The endings will actually be yem instead of om for masculine and neuter, or ей instead of ой for feminine. You know, for example, муж is husband, right? With the husband, you would say с мужем, or, you know, the name Natasha in the instrumental case would become not с Наташой, but с Наташей, right? And there are a couple of other endings possible, but we're trying to keep things simple for now. So just remember the om for masculine and neuter and ой for feminine. And again, they cover 90 to 95% of all scenarios. And even if it's yem or yei, even if you pronounce the wrong one, again, it won't be very noticeable. So to be fully functional, just rely on those major endings. And we'll talk about exceptions in one of our next videos. All right, guys, let's start with some examples. And we're going to start with masculine nouns. For example, sugar, right? Это сахар. This is sugar. But я пью чай с сахаром, right? I drink tea with sugar. Again, here it's not being used as a tool, but you simply follow the rule. You see it used with the preposition с, which again means with, and you automatically apply instrumental case, which for masculine takes the ending ом. Это мой друг, right? This is my friend. Я говорю с другом. I'm speaking with a friend or with the friend. A proper name example. Это Иван. This is Ivan. Я говорю с Иваном. Я говорю с Иваном. I'm speaking with Ivan. And now I'll give you a couple of examples where nouns are actually being used as tools. And the funny thing here is that when we use nouns as tools in Russian, we don't actually say the preposition with. I know, guys, it's kind of weird, right? So in English, you do say, you know, I write with a pen, or I eat soup with a spoon, right? So you can't really, again, express it without the preposition, right? Because again, English does not have case endings. So the only way for you to express it in English is to use the preposition with. But the beauty of the instrumental case in Russian is that when you use a noun as a tool, you simply put it in the instrumental case and you don't even put the preposition with or с. In fact, you should not put the preposition with when you use your noun as a tool. For example, это нож, right? This is a knife. Я режу хлеб ножом. I am cutting bread with a knife, right? And a common mistake is that students will say, я режу хлеб с ножом, right? Don't do that. This is wrong. So the instrumental case alone here is showing you that the noun нож is being used as a tool, right? So again, ножом already means with a tool. That being said, when you actually need the preposition with, right, in Russian, for example, you say, I drink tea with sugar. Yeah, like you literally have sugar in your tea. So you must use the preposition with, right? Again, you're not using it as a tool. You simply say, you know, I drink tea with literally sugar in it. Then yes, you do put с, as you saw in the previous examples. You still put your noun in the instrumental case. But again, if you're using it as a tool, do not use с literally. Just put your noun in the instrumental case. And a couple of neuter noun examples. Again, neuter nouns take the same ending as masculine, right? Это молоко. This is milk. Я пью кофе с молоком, right? I drink coffee with milk. Это масло, this is butter. Я ем хлеб с маслом. I'm eating bread with butter. And let's look at some feminine examples. So, это собака, right? This is a dog. Я гуляю с собакой. I'm walking with the dog, right? So here you're not using your dog as a tool, right? You literally walk with your dog, right? So you do need the preposition с, and you put your noun in the instrumental case, which in feminine takes the ending ой. Это девушка, this is a girl. Я говорю с девушкой. I'm speaking with a girl or with the girl. Again, the feminine ending is ой. A proper name. Это Марина. This is Marina. Я говорю с Мариной. I'm speaking with Marina. And by the way, as I already mentioned in one of my previous videos on a different case, if a name does not have a typical gender ending, right? For example, if a masculine name does not have a consonant ending, or if a feminine name does not have an a or ya ending, then you just don't decline it. So you don't change it by the case. For example, if you're speaking with someone named Joshua, right? So Joshua does not have a typical masculine ending to a Russian ear. You just leave it as is. Я говорю с Joshua. Same for feminine names, right? For example, Jennifer, again, does not end in a or ya. So you simply keep it the same. Я говорю с Jennifer. And another example. Это картошка. This is potato. Я ем мясо с картошкой. I eat meat with potato or potatoes. And a couple of more examples with feminine nouns used as tools. And again, remember that you do not need, and actually you should not put the actual preposition with tools, right? So, for example, if we say это ручка, this is a pen. I write with a pen would be я пишу ручкой, right? Do not say я пишу с ручкой. That would be incorrect. Я пишу ручкой. Это ложка. This is a spoon. Я ем суп ложкой. I eat soup with a spoon. Again, no preposition because we're using spoon as a tool. And again, remember that the endings might vary a little bit for instrumental, for certain nouns. For example, это ее муж. This is her husband, right? So муж would take the ending ем just because it ends in a zh, right? One of those weird sounds, right? So, for example, she's speaking with the husband or with her husband would be она говорит с мужем. So don't be surprised if you see a slightly different ending for instrumental, although again, it's not super common, but you might see it. And an example for, again, feminine, slightly different ending, for example, это Наташа, right? Я говорю с Наташей. Technically, it's not с Наташой, but с Наташей. So again, you might see that in the instrumental forms. And finally, we're going to have some practice. I will give you a few examples where I want you to put the nouns in the instrumental case. And also, let's see if you remember when you actually need to put the preposition s or with, right? And when you don't need to put it. And feel free to pause the video if you need a few seconds to think, but I will be giving you the answers in pretty much just a few seconds after giving you the original example. So, if our noun is limon, lemon, right? Limon. How would you say I drink tea with lemon? Я пью чай. And of course it would be я пью чай с лимоном, right? You're not using the lemon as a tool, so you do need the preposition с. And lemon is a masculine noun, so it takes the ending ом. So with lemon would be с лимоном. Чай с лимоном. Tea with lemon. Okay, our next noun is кошка, which means cat, female cat, right? Кошка. So how would you say I'm playing with the cat, right? Я играю with the cat, right? How would you say that? Я играю. And of course it would be я играю с кошкой, right? Again, we're not using the cat as a tool, so we do need the preposition s, and we add the feminine instrumental ending to our noun. So koshka becomes koshkai. So s koshkai means with the cat. All right, our next noun is vilka, which means a fork, vilka. So how would you say I'm eating chicken with a fork, right? Я ем курицу with a fork. How would you say that? And here we're using a fork as a tool, so we do not need, ironically, to use the preposition with. So you would simply say Я ем курицу вилкой, right? I'm eating chicken. By the way, here in the sentence, chicken is accusative case, right? That's why it's not курица, but курицу, because you're eating it, you're using it as a direct object. With a fork, that is instrumental case. Again, there is literally no with. So вилкой already in and of itself means with a fork, right? So я ем курицу вилкой, I eat chicken with a fork. Okay, our next noun is actually a proper name, Michael. So how would you say I'm speaking with Michael? Я говорю with Michael. And to say that, you would of course say Я говорю с Майклом, right? The name Michael, even though it's not a Russian name, it does end in a consonant. So to a Russian ear, it does sound like a typical masculine name. So Я говорю с Майклом. And again, you're not using Michael as a tool, so you do need the preposition with, and you add the masculine instrumental ending om. And one more example, the noun мясо. So it's a neuter noun, right? Ends in an o, мясо. So how do you say I'm eating borscht with meat, right? I'm eating borscht with meat. Я ем борщ with meat. And that would of course be Я ем борщ с мясом, right? Я ем борщ с мясом. Мясо as a neuter noun takes the same ending as a masculine noun would, right? Om. And again, you're not using meat as a tool. You're literally eating borscht with it. So you do need with, s. So again, with meat would be с мясом. And something you guys can do is just memorize a couple of really common examples with the instrumental case. For example, чай с сахаром, right? Tea with sugar, or кофе с молоком, coffee with milk, or I don't know, бутерброд с колбасой, right? A sandwich with колбаса, like with a sausage or whatever you call it, sausage, yeah. Just remember a few really common examples that you hear all the time or use all the time, and use them as your go-to forms, right? Whenever you want to put another noun in instrumental, you just think of, okay, with sugar would be сахаром. I just remember it, right? сахаром. So that's your ending om, right? If you want to apply it to another ending, to another noun, for example, with a friend, you automatically say, okay, friend is друг, so it would be с другом, right? So this is what I recommend you do. Alright guys, this is it for this video. Just the very basics of the instrumental case for singular nouns only and for the most major uses. But if it's your first time learning about the instrumental case, hopefully it should be very helpful. If you liked our video, be sure to hit the like button below. And remember, you can ask us any questions in the comment section. And well, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our app, Russian Readers. This is where we use graded level stories to help you boost your reading skills, your listening skills, your vocabulary and grammar. We specifically have a section called Grammar Guides. Each of our stories has highlighted narration and translation that will help you better understand and practice. And well guys, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Until then, пока-пока.